Hey everyone, welcome to the Angel Power Hour, or if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Lisa Gober. I'm your host of Lisa Gober Body and Soul, and this is the first of hopefully many episodes. I'm going to be filming a podcast and also filming the video of it, of me doing a podcast, just because if there's someone more out there to that feel it resonates with what I'm talking about, or if this helps anyone, that's great. And again, if you've listened to my previous podcasts in this season 2, I had a shift of and a realization of I'm really passionate about just kind of talking and talking about my growth and my realizations and sharing that. And regardless if anyone watches or not or listens, I'm going to keep doing it. It just feels really good and exciting and fun. And there's a lot of faith involved in that I was holding myself back from, and no more. I want to live in joy and truth and faith. So that's what we're doing. And I had this idea, like, why not just record it so I can upload it to YouTube, and it is what it is. It's not, there's no outcome expected except just sharing and putting this out there into the cosmos. So today I really wanted to talk about being an empath and dealing with emotions. Now, I've been a psychic medium my entire life, and I've always picked up on others' emotions. In human design, I am a projector, a 5/1 splenic projector. If you don't know what human design is, I'll let you Google that on your own. It's way too much for me to explain. My brain doesn't work that way. But it basically, for the purposes of today's video, it comes down to I pick up emotions even more. Like, most of my emotions are really not my own. But everyone on some level picks up, right? Everyone on some level can read the room, or, we all have intuition, right? But I want to talk about empaths in particular, because I think we forget a lot of the time that we pick up on all the emotions, not only in our household or our apartment building or our neighbors or our city or the grocery store or the entire consciousness of the planet. When something's going on, for those of us who are especially on the very sensitive side, we can feel it. We wake up and feel like something's going to happen today. There is a sense of gloom or doom or happiness or something. You can feel the consciousness shift and you can tell by the world events. If you watch the news or you pay attention, I don't so much anymore. I kind of keep an eye on it, but you realize at some point you're in sync with the emotions of the cosmos. But the thing that really, really needs to be addressed is, and this came up for me this morning, excuse me while I have a quick drink. What came up for me this morning, I've been talking a lot today and recording. What came up for me this morning was I woke up, I had gotten up early, I went and I fell back asleep. And when I woke up, I had so much stress and anxiety and panic almost, and I was like, whoa, my goodness, where did this come from? Even a little depression and sadness. And I immediately, because this is the work I do, mindset and healing and all that, I immediately realized, wait a minute, this isn't all me. It can't be, it just doesn't make sense, right? So I immediately had to do a quick exercise, which if you feel called to, please do it with me. It's so easy and it's so quick. And you just do it in your head. I release any energy that is not my own. I release any emotions and energy that are not my own. I release any emotions and energy that are not my own. And I feel every time I say those words, like I can feel like a dropping, like it's like a whoosh, everything just goes back into the ground, back into grounding, back into the earth to be transmuted, yes? So I invite you to try that. If you're watching this, you're like, yeah, I'm empathic, what do I do? When I was working as a massage therapist, I'm a licensed massage therapist here in New York City, but I don't practice anymore. I had to do that throughout the day, all day, because I'm hands-on people. I'm picking up energy left and right. But as I've stopped doing it, I sometimes forget. And when we go to sleep, we're kind of leaving that door open a bit to really suck in all the energy and take in everything. So if you're someone who is highly stressed and dealing a lot of emotions, ups and downs, highs and low, you're probably an empath, and most psychics are. I mean, probably all are, right? That's part of our powers, right? Picking up the emotions, and from there we get on the vibration of whatever our intuition is telling us. So it can be a real struggle. A lot of psychics end up going through heavy depressions. A lot of intuitives end up being put on medications. It's no joke. We struggle with mental health because we're stimulated so much. But you don't have to be psychic or identify psychic or any of that to be an empath. You can still experience extreme ups and downs. So it's important to stay on top of that, and it's also important to do your own self-care, which could be, yes, saying the words, I release any emotions and energy that isn't my own, but also, meditating, journaling, taking a bath, inspirational reading, whatever you feel called to that relaxes you and maybe raises your vibration a little bit. Because while we're always in alignment, I don't believe we're ever out of alignment, but we can focus not on the right things. Like fear means we're getting further away from center. Okay, so that's like center alignment, yeah, but we're always aligned. We're always connected to that alignment. But when we start getting away from that center, that's when fear gets worse and worse and worse. So by recognizing, releasing our emotions, doing self-care, we can put ourselves back, which means we're getting back into flow and getting back into allowing the universe to bring the manifestations and allow us to be a co-creator. But there's another step to this. Kyle Cease, actually, I just saw a video where he was talking about it, and it's so funny because I talk about this with my group and my clients all the time, and it's so important. And that is being okay with where you're at. Not everything has to be like a big, oh, I need to dive in and heal this and fix this and shift through it and blah, blah, blah. You can just be okay with feeling sad. You can just be like, okay, I feel sad. It's okay. You can be okay with I'm broke. It's okay. Actually, a lot of our situations, in order for it to change, you have to be okay with where you're at. I mean, that is law of attraction. That is manifesting. If you're not okay with where you're at, you're in resistance to it, and you're creating resistance for anything coming in. And so it's not going to come in. But if you're just okay with how you're feeling, so yeah, let's say you said I'm an empath. I release all the emotions. I did that quick, but I still feel angry. I still feel anxious. So just be okay with it. So you're human, you're allowed. We're all human. We're here having a human experience. I'm here, I'm doing podcasting, and I'm filming for YouTube. I have no makeup on. My hair is pulled back. It's not even, I gotta get it. I want to dye it again. I usually am blonde and my roots are coming in. My nails aren't done. I meant to do my nails this afternoon. I'm using my AirPods to record. And I don't have the fancy equipment. I'm sitting in a lazy boy, not at my desk. And I'm perfectly imperfect, and so are you. And I love it, because we're human. We're all perfectly imperfect. And what is perfection? There's nothing. So as a human, you're allowed to be human. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to feel bad. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be embarrassed. You're allowed to be guilty. You're allowed to be bitchy. You're allowed to be whatever you want to be, snotty. It's a human thing. It's okay. So what if you're just okay with it? The second you're okay with it, you're moving into the space of letting it just do its thing so it can move on, and then it's gone. Period. You're in presence. Period. So you need to be okay with it. Sometimes that's really hard, depending on your situation and depending on, oh, well, this happened with this person. How can that be okay? I'm not saying that it's okay that it happened, but it happened. It just is. It's done. It happened. So, okay, it happened. Okay. It happened. Okay. It happened. Now what? Now what? You're letting go of that energy, having that power over you. And that's really important for all of us, not just empaths. For all of us to just be okay with our emotions, to just be okay with the situation and trust, oh, everything is going to work out. I'm okay with it. I have a headache. I'm okay with it. I actually had a horrible migraine not too long ago. I turned off the lights, I laid down on my pillow, I had the covers, I had to shut the windows. It was like middle of the day. My head was pounding. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I mean, it was so intense. And I'm, tensed up because I'm in so much pain. And I did think, what if I'm just okay with it? And so I did. I thought, okay, headache. Instantly my body relaxed, first of all. Like, all right, this hurts like an MFer. This really hurts. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I have a migraine. It's really bad. It sucks. And I'm okay with that. I will tell you, within a minute or two, it started getting lighter and lighter and lighter because I allowed it, because I accepted it as just what it is. It sucked balls, but I'm like, it's okay. So let's take a quick break right now before we continue. And there's just gonna be a little ad. And yeah, so we're paused on the podcast right now because there's a little ad by me on there, which is fun. I think I get a penny for it. But it's fun. It gives me a chance to take a drink of water, talk to you guys personally. Hello, YouTubers. I will put the link to my podcast in the description below. So if you'd rather listen to the podcast, please. I put them out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'm pretty sure with the YouTube videos they will stick to the same schedule. Okay. Same podcast, same topic, on the same days, so not to be confusing. Okay, and we are back. So being present does absolutely mean accepting where you're at, working through your emotions and allowing them so that they can move through. Healing doesn't have to take hours, and it doesn't have to be a big process. Have I spent hours on my healing? Has it been a huge process to me? Yes. For my own journey, you can go back and listen to old podcasts, or we can get into that if that's something you want to hear about, you haven't heard about. I talk a little bit about it at my website, lisagober.com, but you can always email me at lisagoberlmt@gmail.com if you have any suggestions for what you want to hear about in this podcast or this YouTube video and you want me to talk about that. I'd be happy to, because I had so many limiting beliefs and so much conditioning that I had a lot of work to do. I really did. And there's always going to be more work to do, and that's fine. I accept that. That's okay. I don't mind it. I actually learned to love it because it always means I'm shifting to a higher vibration. But as an empath, we're always going to be dealing with extreme emotions. We're always going to be sensitive to things and shifts in the universe and in the cosmos. And it's something we just have to deal with. We have to protect our energy through grounding, through crystals if you want. We have to know how to shift easily. I let go of any emotions, or I release any emotions and energies that are not my own. And we have to learn how to quickly shift through emotions. Tapping is another one. EFT, again, I can go into that in another, can't really do it on the podcast. There is a EFT tapping video here on YouTube, though. I invite you to go check it out. And as we wrap up here, I just ask that you never give up, you never stop working, and you try not to let yourself get wrapped up in ego and fear and in the emotions and in the stories, because in an empath, most of the stories, the emotions are not yours. So try not to attach them to things. Try to recognize right away, like, wait a minute, most of this probably isn't mine, so let me shift out of it. Because our ego will attach it to stories. Our ego will attach it to us when it's not ours to begin with. We're just picking up on it. So I hope that makes sense. That resonates with anyone. And if you really like this podcast, please feel free to like, rate, comment, and share. If you like this YouTube video, please subscribe, like, comment, share. I'm going to be here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. In the comments, if you'd rather instead email me, please feel welcome. Any suggestions, ideas you want me to talk about. And I want you to recognize just how powerful you are in this universe. You're not here to suffer. Empaths weren't given this ability to suffer. They're given this ability to help people and to it heightens our intuition. Okay? So this wasn't here for us to suffer. This is a tool, but we need to learn how to use it. And part of doing that is the deconditioning, because we were conditioned so much when we were young, and it's such a huge awakening happening now. It's getting a bit easier and easier. So I hope you'll stay in tune for our upcoming episodes. I love you guys. Blessings.